guys, it's Ariel. So today I'm going to be talking about a show called Fort Rock. It is now going to be a tour here in Florida. At least I think it's only going to be here in Florida. But it was a local event that was held by a radio station that now no longer exists. And it was supposed to be what was going to possibly top my Ardenne show and Uproar combined, because it was I was originally told that I was going to get to interview Papa Roach, Device, Stone Sour, Escape the Fate, The Offspring, Pop Evil, let's see, Volbeat, Or Highwater possibly, and I feel like there was somebody else. Oh, and in this moment, I was supposed to interview 9 different bands, and it all ended up falling apart. I ended up not even getting to see Papa Roach, which I will admit this, I kind of cried over that a little bit. I could have stayed, but I didn't feel right doing it, because what happened was I get to the show, the guy that I was supposed to be sharing my photo pass with, because it was through the magazine and they only had a certain amount, and they had like several people that wanted them. For some reason nobody was like sharing theirs with me. I was supposed to be sharing it with this one guy that took it 2 hours before that and disappeared. Nobody knew where the fuck he went, and nobody could get a hold of him, because I kept getting told 3 different names. Even there was Alex, Joe I think it was, and something with an S, Sam I think it was, I don't remember. I kept getting told different names for this guy. Even nobody could tell me what the fuck he looked like, and I'm just like, great, so he has my pass. And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, well, can I use somebody else's? They're like, no, I need it. And I'm like, well, I need it too. And I understood though with like Lisa, who was the owner of the magazine, I wasn't asking for hers. I was actually asking for her husband's or fiance's, because he was just sort of hanging out underneath the tent and he had a pass and he didn't need it. I'm like, I could have this. And but whatever, I can't really say anything, I guess. I mean, he had his reasons for having it too, but it was like, I was kind of just annoyed, but I was also there with a couple friends, so I'm like, well, you know what, I'll just hang out then. And I had been told that my camera was allowed, and apparently not all the security guards were told this. A lot of them were told cameras were allowed. A lot of them were told that cameras were not allowed. And it was really annoying. And then Pop Evil came on stage, because we actually got there after everything had started, because we didn't care about the first like 2 or 3 bands that were on. I don't even remember all the names. What happened was, I'm like standing there trying to get Lisa's attention so I could get in front of the barricade for like a song and take pictures. And a security guard got her for me. She said she couldn't give me hers once again. And I'm like standing there, and then all of a sudden a security guard like pulls me aside, and I figured he was gonna help me. I figured he was gonna let me up there because he saw that I was talking to Lisa. And he was like, hey, you're not allowed to have that, my camera. And I'm like, yeah, I am, I have a photo pass. He's like, where is it? And I'm like, somebody else has it, I can't find the guy, but I'm with Spot Magazine, you can ask them. And he's like, well, if you don't have a pass, we're taking your camera. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, no, you don't understand. And by the way, the interviews were also fucked, because none of us had heard any details. Like, Lisa even didn't have a clue what was going on with those. I asked her, and she's like, I don't know. She's like, we might have to do them over the phone later, because nobody's answering us. I think eventually they got somebody, but I don't know for sure. So that upset me, but I was like, okay, you know what, that'll play out. I've even seen things like that. You just sort of end up winging it at some point. And long story short, I ended up leaving the show before, after about 2 hours of being there, not even, because it was really, really hot. My mom almost passed out from heat. The guy kept threatening to take my camera. The head security guard, was just sitting there being an asshole and shaking his head going, no, she's not allowed to have it, no. Even though he was standing right next to the press tent, to the spots tent, where it's like, I was in the magazine, and if you asked any of them, they knew who I was, that I they could confirm that yes, I was allowed. And he kept saying, well, no, cameras aren't allowed, even though we had been told they were. And it was just like a whole big thing. I ended up leaving before I saw anybody. I was actually really upset because I was finally going to get to see Papa Roach. My best friend Jeremy called me when they played Scars because he knew that was like the main reason I wanted to see Papa Roach was because of Scars, because I have it tattooed. You can't even see that. I've shown it before. I don't need to see it. You don't need to see it again. And I legitimately cried because it was supposed to be like a dream day for me, and it all ended up just being shit. And honestly, I left because I was afraid of getting my camera taken away, and I didn't want to be like so preoccupied with like not even getting to have my camera. Plus, a security guard shoved my mom. It was all just going to be a whole dramatic day, and so many people were like, why don't you just go to a show for like the fun? I'm like, you don't understand. If you go to a show with expectations of, hey, you're gonna get to do all this stuff, and it sounds completely surefire, and then get everything ripped away, it's not just fun. If you go to a show and it's just fun, like, you know it's just gonna be there for fun, that's a fucking lily. But at the same time, concerts are not just fun for me anymore. They are opportunities. I mean, yes, they're fun still, but they're opportunities. And so many people don't understand that. I don't understand why. A lot of people don't seem to get that, and it's like, it kind of just bummed me out. And I have actually since then missed a chance to see Papa Roach because I had the money, but I didn't really think I should spend the money. And I still haven't gotten to see Papa Roach because they don't come to Florida very often. One day. And this actually will be the last concert story I have until February, because then I'm going to be seeing Of Mice and Men. As I keep telling you guys, God help me if this falls through. I'm going to be so upset because I'm, one, really excited because I get to interview Papa Roach. Not Papa Roach. Sorry, I'm focused on that at this point. Get to interview Of Mice and Men. And hopefully get to Bring Me the Horizon. I'd love to interview them too, but I highly doubt I'm going to get that just because I haven't managed to get a hold of anybody. But this is actually the last one because the last show I went to that wasn't like a local thing, that was just local bands and stuff, was Spring Fever Tour, and I made a whole playlist of videos about that because I had a vlog on the way there with my friend Hallie. I had a video recapping it. I had a video, like several videos of footage at the concert, and just all kinds of stuff. That'll all be linked in the description. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If not, I'm sorry. They're done now. And then there will be like a vlog and stuff about Of Mice and Men. My camera's dying now, so I'm gonna go. Thank you. Love you. Goodbye.